Good morning. I am Judge Amy Carter. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Adam Scholl with Office of Public Defender.
Takira Watson on behalf of the state.
Thank you. Ms. Washington, are you making any offers this morning?
I will have offers on all of the ordinances.
Okay. Sir, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Ravon Gifford.
Mr. Gifford, this is 19 MO 1787. You were arrested for being in the park after dark. There's probable cause. Did you have an offer for Mr. Gifford?
Yes, Your Honor, I have an adjudication of guilt, 5 days with credit time served, no return to the scene and court costs.
Okay. Mr. Gifford, did you want to plead at the bench or did you want to accept the state's offer?
Yes, I plead to, based on, counsel, I didn't.
Just 1 second, Your Honor.
Yeah.
He didn't fill out the PD form, but
Okay.
Oh,
that's okay.
as a friend of the court, if I
Sure.
can help out, Your Honor.
What you gonna do? Get you without, right? I guess, based on, counsel, I would go with the court's decision.
Okay, I need you to sign the plea form, please.
All right.
Your Honor, he would like to ask the court if it's possible to have no contest adjudication withheld. If the court would take that in consideration, Your Honor.
I'll take it into consideration. Mr. Gifford, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you
No,
have?
I read this plea form right here. I think it's the same thing.
It is.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Not at this point, no.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days time served. Sir, you can't return to Langford Park. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due by October 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
As far as court codes go, is it your determination or is it preset by the state or by law?
It's preset by the statute, so
Okay.
they're 223.
Ooh, that's kind of high. I don't have no income, but everyone pays the same thing?
Everyone pays the same. So I've given you a year to pay, but you can also go down to the clerk's office and you can ask them to put you on a payment plan. You can request extra time, but you have a whole year.
Okay, thank you.
sir?
God bless you. Take it easy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Marco Cannon, Your Honor?
Mr. Cannon, this is 19 M8810. You were arrested for petty theft.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return to the 7-Eleven at 1 North Roslyn Avenue.
Okay.
Mr. Cannon, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time.
Okay.
You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're going to be given.
How can I do that without a phone? I don't have a
You
phone.
can go down to their office right on Orange Avenue. Do you know
Okay.
where the courthouse is?
I don't, but I might be able to find it.
Well, that's going to be a problem if I'm going to release you on your own recognizance if you don't know where to go.
I think I can find it. Is there a bus that go by there, like the free bus or whatever?
The limo goes around the courthouse. There's a stop at the courthouse.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I can find
Do
it.
you not live in Orlando, Mr. Cannon?
I do, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor.
You're familiar with downtown?
A little bit, yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can't miss the courthouse, it's right on Orange
Yes, Your
Avenue.
Honor.
The piece of paper you're gonna get when you leave here, when you leave the jail, is gonna have an address on it and a court date, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to make sure that you show up to that court date. Otherwise, there's gonna be a warrant issued for your arrest, and it will not have a bond.
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gannon.
Okay.
Good morning,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Janice.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you today?
Good.
Sir, you're here in 19 MM 8809. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you want to resolve your case this morning, Mr. Janice?
Yes.
Okay, you'll have to sign the plea form, please.
Judge, if you don't mind, if I put the offer on the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, this was a misdemeanor. I thought you were only doing the ordinances.
Oh, no, I have an offer for this as well. I
Sure.
apologize.
That's okay.
The offer being an adjudication of guilt, 5 days credit time served, no return to the scene and court costs.
Is 5 days, is it credit time served? That's how long?
No, he has two in.
So 4 days off from 5 days. You have 2 days on, so you have 3 days.
Yeah, it's okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Your Honor, you'd like to accept the offer?
Okay. Did you sign the form, Mr. Janice? Did they give it to you? Did you read the form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No.
You're not on probation, right?
No.
Okay. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's
No.
happening in court this morning?
No.
All right, Mr. Janice. I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to Advent Hospital, which is Florida Hospital, 601 East Rollins. You need to abide by the trespass warning. You'll have to pay court costs, which are due by October 30th of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal, Mr. Janice. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Are you okay?
Good morning. Your name, sir?
Michael Robertson.
Mr. Robertson, you have 2 cases this morning, 19 MM 8812. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. Your bond, sir, is $100. You also have 19 MM 8813. You were arrested for possession of cannabis not more than 20 grams. Your bond is $100. I will appoint the public defender. He's not going to want to resolve his cases, Mr. Scholl, this morning.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. LaFay, who are you here on this morning?
Your Honor, I have Andres Robato.
Robato?
Yeah, and here, but here's the situation with him. He's outside, his parents are in the lobby.
Okay.
But I believe the state was going to ask to pass this case until 1 o'clock.
Oh, was that one of the ones we talked
Yes,
about
ma'am.
earlier? So, Mr. LaFay, I don't have the warrant.
Correct.
So, I can't really, I don't know what happened. I don't know the facts. I don't know how I would determine the bond.
My knee jerk, of course, would be to say, well, then that's release right there, but I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm not gonna. So what I would, I guess, acquiesce to is that we'd be recalling this case at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
I have a 1:30 in front of Judge Young downtown. Is, if the court could just give me an idea when the court.
One second, Mr. Are we still gonna do the move up? So we're actually going to, once we finish first session, we're gonna take a recess. So we're not gonna be starting at 1 o'clock today. It's gonna be before that.
Oh, great.
Would that, I mean, that seems it would work better for you anyway.
That's perfect. About what time? Guesstimate?
I think 11, probably 11 o'clock.
Perfect.
Okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're
I'll see you
welcome.
then.
All right.
I'll let Mr. Roboto know.
Yes, thank you, and the families here. Did you all hear what we were talking about? I don't know if the family can hear us or not.
I'll explain to them.
Okay, thank you, Mr. LaFay. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You are here on behalf of Michael Rivera Mercado, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Mercado, you have 5 cases this morning. And it appears that they are all pursuant to a warrant.
That's correct, Judge, except the trafficking, the alleged count of trafficking was actually at the actual arrest.
All right, just give me 1 second. Okay, yes. Did you want to be heard at all with probable cause on the 19 CF 15067?
Yes, the trafficking case, yeah, I mean,
Sure.
yes, Your Honor, I shouldn't say yes.
Okay.
I just reviewed the affidavit or the police report this morning. I haven't had time to do research on it. But from our position, that the officer allegedly smells from a closed-door car, alleged cannabis. Cannabis, since, as effective yesterday, has been legalized for medical purposes, the floral kind, so I'm not sure if that even gives rise to probable cause. Even if it did, Judge, the alleged substances that they found and the variety of which they found it in, there was no weight given to it, meaning that from the affidavit that I read, they did not weigh the alleged substances, Judge. I think there was one that says there was 8 grams or 7 grams of one substance, but not of the other. Simply the packaging of something doesn't give rise to trafficking. The weight has to go into consideration, Judge, along with more than a presumptive test. So we'd ask for those reasons, Judge, that the trafficking, that there's not probable cause for that. The state certainly has a right to file an amended or an information, to file asking for a new bond or an increased bond, Judge, but we don't think there's probable cause for that. And Judge, if I may be heard on the other counts, if I may.
Sure.
He has, according to me, my review, he has 6 counts at $7,500 for sale and delivery of various other substances. I have not read the affidavit for the actual warrant, Judge, but I'd ask that, considering the number of counts, along with the fact that he also has a pending case in Osceola County, he's being held on no bond, that we reduce those counts. I think from our position, following the bond schedule, if he would take one of those 6 counts of $7,500 to $7,500 and the rest at $150 each. He has a separate charge of possession of or sale and delivery of cocaine at $150. And that's for 2019 CF 15067AO. That's possession of cocaine with its sale and intent to deliver at $150. We think that would be appropriate for the other 6 counts, because if we add this all together, he's looking at a substantial bond that would be in the $15,000 to $20,000 range for him to post bond, Judge, with the bondsman.
Okay. State response?
Considering the number of charges, the state would request that the bond remain the same. There are several of the same charges. So that would indicate a repeat of the same instances, so the state would request that the bond remain as it is.
Okay. So first, to address the probable cause issue, in 19 CF 15067, Mr. Stewart, I do think that there is probable cause for each of the offenses in that affidavit. I think the things that you brought up are probably more to a motion to suppress. But I will certainly take those factors into consideration when determining the bond amount with respect to that case. We're gonna set bond on count one in that case, $7,500. Bond on count two will be $150, bond on count three will be $100, bond on count four will be $100. And then in 19 CF, $15048, bond will be $500. 19 CF 15049. Bond will be 500. 19 CF 15057, count one will be 7,500, count two will be 150, count three will be 150, count four will be 150.
Your Honor, if you don't mind repeating for the last case, the bond amounts?
Sure. Count one is 7,500. Count two is 150, count three is 150, count four is 150.
Thank you so much.
Is that 570? Okay. And then we have 19 CF 15058, bond, on count one is going to be 7,500, bond on count two, 150, bond on count three, 150, bond on count four will be 150. Okay, I think those are all the cases. Anything else, Mr. Stewart?
Just 1 second, if I may.
Sure. Got three substitutes.
Judge, thank you. That's it. I was just, there's a lot of case numbers, so I was making sure I had
Got all
everything.
of them. Okay.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor. Miss, can I talk to you for a second? Please. All right.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, sir. Tell me your name.
Brad Aubrey?
Mr. Aubrey.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are here because you failed to appear in 19 CF 8973. You failed to appear for pretrial conference on October 22nd. Your bond is set at none, sir. I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. You'll have to have your lawyer file a bond motion in Division 16.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Okay. And if there's anything else, is it just come back to court for? Okay, so if I have a bond, but if I don't? Yes, sir. Bless you.
Good morning. Your name?
Melissa Brown.
Ms. Brown, you're here in 19 CF 13782. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for grand theft. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You're not to have any contact with Elmer Philo. You're not to return to 5739 Edgewater Drive. And your bond is $650. Thank you, ma'am. What up? Danielson?
Keep on.
He did.
In- Your Honor, Francis, my next client, I'll be challenging, PC challenge on the burglary. Okay, thank you. How you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Andre Francis.
Mr. Francis, you're here in 19 CF 15082. You were arrested for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Scholl.
Yes, Your Honor, on the charge of burglary of unoccupied dwelling, it does not state in the arrest affidavit an intent to further another action. If we look at the evidence, allegedly he was found sleeping, allegedly. So at that point in time, I asked for a lesser included charge of trespass in structure or conveyance, 810.08, Your Honor.
Ms. Washington?
I apologize, Your Honor, give me one moment.
Sure.
Your Honor, the only argument that the state would have involving this case is that the defendant was in the dwelling of another without permission. There are no other facts that indicate otherwise in the arrest affidavit.
So there's no other facts to indicate that there was any intent to commit a crime therein, right? Other than being there uninvited?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I do find probable cause for the lesser included offense of trespass. Sir, you're not to return to 910 Sunnyland Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that house a vacant house? Or maybe I'm thinking of a different case, I just can't find it.
No, Your Honor. It's not,
It's a realtor.
it's a realtor.
Yeah, it's a
Keith
realtor.
Realtor, Inc.
I see, okay. All right, Mr. Francis, at this time, I'm gonna place you on pretrial release. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Yalandi de Haiti.
Ma'am, you were here, you have two cases this morning. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both. You have 19 CF 149150. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for fraudulent statement on a motor vehicle insurance application and a false statement filed with an insurance office, as well as grand theft, less than $10,000, or $10,000, more than $10,000. Your bond on count 1 is $150, your bond on count 2 is $150, your bond on count 3 is $1,000. You were also arrested in 19 CF 15050 for escape, battery on an officer, firefighter, or EMT, and resisting officer with violence. Mr. Scholl.
Your Honor, if I may, for the charge of escape, at this point in time, her actions do not fall into the category of the law. The most you could try to stretch was she was being transported, which of course she was not being transported, during these actions. So at this point in time, there's no probable cause for that charge, Your Honor.
State.
If you can give me one moment, Your Honor, I apologize. Your Honor, the state would argue that the escape charge is correct in the sense that the defendant did attempt to escape by putting up a struggle and fighting the officer, which would prevent him from conducting further investigation. So the state would argue that the escape charge is correct.
Escape is defined in Florida Statute 944.40. It's very specific in what the conduct must be. The facts that are contained in this affidavit do not establish an escape, so there's no probable cause on count 1. There'll be ROR on that count. Bond on count 2 is going to be $1,500, and bond on count 3 will be $150. Good morning, your name?
Ben Hampton Jr.
Mr. Hampton, this is 19 CF 15087. You were arrested for possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a firearm, possession of a firearm with altered serial number, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, possession of a controlled substance, carrying a concealed firearm, and possession of methamphetamine. Sir, were you going to hire a lawyer to help you with this case, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Ma'am, I was planning on hiring a lawyer.
All right, we'll need to do that as soon as possible, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Your bond on count 1 is $10,000. Your bond on count, I'm going to say the bond on all the other counts. 2 is $150, 3 $150, 4 $100, 5 and 6 $100, 7 and 8 $150. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms or any controlled substances without a valid prescription, sir.
Your Honor, so the bond on the first count was raised.
It was raised after you came into the jail because they made a mistake. So it should have never said 5,000. I have a correction sheet. The schedule amount is 10,000, and then I took that based upon your face sheet, which has your criminal history and your prior court appearances and the facts of the case, and determined that it was appropriate.
If at all possible, Your Honor, if the bond could be stayed at 5,000 on that first count, I could possibly make bail at 10,000. I couldn't. The reason why I'm asking for you to leave it at what it was is because in this report, there was no alleged knowledge of me doing anything illegal. I seen what was stated was a hand-to-hand transaction, but I didn't see anything illegal in this transaction. And I mean, up prior to me being yanked out of this car, I don't see anything founded as far as, seeing. I'm just asking.
I hear what you're saying.
I know I can't post bail.
My concern for you, Mr. Hampton, and bond is also considered on other factors besides just the
Yeah, I
facts of the
know.
case. But you failed to appear for court 4 times, or I'm sorry, 6 times. So I have concerns about you coming back.
Your Honor, I understand what you're saying, but I've never not got something taken care of. It was a lot of times I was late to court and stuff like that. With a history like mine, 4 FTAs, that's a lot. That's saying a lot. That's saying that he goes to court a lot. I'm begging you, Your Honor. I know I can't post it.
I don't think we're on the same page. You have 6 FTAs. What FTA means is failing to appear.
Yes, ma'am. I know I cannot post a $10,000 bill, Your Honor. Please. I know I can't. I had something in the works with a bondsman that where he was going to accept a much smaller amount from the $12,000 that is originated at when I was arrested, and I can post that, but I know I can't post a $10,000 bond on the first charge, Your Honor. I'm asking, please, could you
All right,
remain
Mr.
the
Hampton,
bond?
I'll give you a shot.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Have a nice day.
Yep.
Good morning.
Hello,
Your name, sir?
Christopher Ethel.
Sir, you are here in case number 19 CF 892. You failed to appear
Yes, ma'am.
for case management conference on April 29th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender if they were not previously appointed, sir.
They were
Thank
previous.
you. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Dexter, on Shamar Henry, do you have the name of the attorney who requested it to be, oh, good morning.
Well, it's actually going to be Robert Zlatkin is going to be the attorney of record, and I'm closest to the point of contact here. I was downtown Orange County, so as soon as court was done, I came down here.
Okay, great.
So, for the record, Ken Yule on behalf of Mr. Henry.
Yes. This is 19 CF 15088. Sir, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery, and robbery with a deadly weapon.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. You're here with counsel this morning. I'm going to remove the PD form. Just a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, Mr. Yule, I assume you want to be heard with respect to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. Obviously, this is one of those cases on the bond schedule that doesn't really give us a lot of guidance. It's just kind of must be said at first appearance, but it doesn't really tell us too much about what that amount is. I kind of look at a couple of similarly situated offenses. You have strong arm robbery, which is a $5,000 bond schedule. I think that that's consistent with what we'd be asking for in this case, Your Honor. Mr. Henry does not have any criminal history. He's young. He has significant ties to the community. I think given his lack of essentially criminal background and his youth, I think that would be an appropriate bond. Also be consistent with the other bond amounts that are in that kind of vein on the bond schedule.
Well, looking at the statute, the robbery with a deadly weapon is a punishable by life felony. So,
For some reason, Your Honor, when I pulled up the case online, it was listing these cases as F2s on the actual.
no. So,
It was, and again, could be wrong.
so it's the statute is 812.132A, and so this is if in the course of committing the robbery, the offender carried a firearm or other deadly weapon, then the robbery is a felony of the first degree, punishable by imprisonment for a term of years not exceeding life.
For some reason, maybe it was just an error, but it's listed on the, and I'm not disagreeing, Your Honor, on the actual clerk website, it's listed as a second degree. So maybe the statute was off.
Just a regular robbery is an F2?
I'm with you. I'm not
Okay.
disputing that. And again, I didn't do too much delving into it based off the fact that I looked quickly on the clerk of the court website and I was driving over here and it was listed as an F2.
I guess I'm telling you that to say,
Yeah.
I mean, the state has a burden to meet with regard to proof evident or presumption grade.
I do understand that, Your Honor.
And so, for your purposes, I don't know how prepared you are today, if you needed to go forward with the second part of that hearing, seeing as how you only get to do that one time.
What I would like to do, Your Honor, is, I know we have a couple of people back here, based off of that new information, I would like a second, just kind of pull this case up briefly.
Sure.
Do a little bit more background on it, and go from there, okay? And
I can
then we
recall
call it
this.
in a few minutes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
All right.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Keith Higgins.
Mr. Higgins, you're here 19 CF 13801. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for failing to report every 30 days. The state also has filed the one count information in this matter. Your bond, sir, is $2,500. I'll appoint the public defender. You do have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Sir, or ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Good morning. It's Jabrittany Jackson.
Ms. Jackson. Yes. Ms. Jackson, you're here 19 CF 11411. You failed to appear for court.
Yeah, I had no idea I had court. I never missed court ever.
Okay.
And every time I called my bondsman, they said that the systems were down. But I'm always on top of that. I never miss court ever.
Okay. You're gonna have to have your lawyer file a bond motion in Division 19, and that's the judge who issued the KPS, is who's gonna have to modify that. Okay?
I don't understand.
The bond right now on that is set at none, so you'll have to get in touch with your lawyer and have them,
I don't have an attorney.
yes, you do, you have the public defender.
But I can't bond out today?
No. No. And then I need to reset your bonds, because your bondsman has endorsed your bonds. You don't have, the cases that you are actually out on bond for, you don't have a bond, the bondsman has come off both of those cases. Because of
Can-
the failure to.
Who is the bondsman?
Moncrief. So I'll reset them at the original amounts. It looks like on 19 CF 8947, bond was $500.
What?
That's the only one? I thought there were two. 500 and 100. Okay. So I'll reset the bonds on each case as they were.
500, 100, Your Honor?
Correct. There's 19 CF 8947 and 19 CF 1141. Out on the cash.
19 CF 11807.
Correct. The total amount on that was 4,300. I don't know what. Because it looks like there was scheming to defraud ×3 and petty theft ×4. How many counts do we need?
There's 7.
7 counts? All right.
the 500 and 100, the 8947.
Okay, so there's only that one's endorsed.
Right.
So then the
Out.
out on bond is still pending. Okay, I'm not gonna take any action on that because it was a failure to appear.
Was that for the 8947, Your Honor?
No, the 11807.
Okay.
So that one I'll take no action, so the bond is still intact in that. And then, man, you have the 19 CF 8947, where you have a $600 bond, you're gonna have to repost that bond because the bondsman came off of it. And then you need to get a bond set in Division 16 on the case. All right? Good morning, sir. Your name?
Brandon James.
Mr. James. Sir, you are here 19 CF 15047. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $7,500. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You're not to return to the Wawa at 449 West Main Street. And you're not to have any contact with the alleged victims in this matter. You also have 18 MM 401. You failed to appear for arraignment on a possession of cannabis less than 20 grams charged. The bond is $250, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Veronica Levine.
Ms. Levine, this is 17 CF 8905. You failed to appear for a probation violation status hearing on September 6th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint a public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Brittany Lugo bonded, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sir, your name?
Alexander McBride.
Mr. McBride. Sir, you are here in 19 CF 15071. You were arrested for possession of a concealed weapon by a convicted felon. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're gonna set your bond at $2,500. You're not, 2,500? You are not to possess any weapons or any firearms, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
My bond was.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Terrell McDonald.
Mr. McDonald, this is 19 CF 5368. You failed to appear for arraignment on October 10th of this year. Your bond is set at none, sir. I'll appoint the public defender if they were not previously appointed. You'll have to have them file a bond motion in Division 15. All right? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Richard Mesner.
Mr. Messner, you have 3 cases this morning. You have 19 CF 15073. I'll appoint the public defender in all the cases. You were arrested for aggravated assault and petty theft. There is probable cause. Your bond on count 1 is 2,500. Your bond on count 2 is 100. You can't return to Home Depot at 7022 West Colonial Drive. You can't have any contact with Patrick Wells. You failed to appear in 19 CF 7826 for arraignment on October 10th of this year. Your bond is set at none. And you have 19 CF 9860. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for uttering forgery and grand theft third degree. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000, your bond on count 2 is 500, and you're not to return to Las Delicias. Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Leonard Miller.
Mr. Miller, you are here in 19 CF 15067. You were arrested for trafficking in MDMA with a weapon, carrying a concealed firearm, grand theft third degree of a firearm, possession of hydrocodone, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, resisting officer without violence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you. So you're bound at 15,000 on count 1. I'm gonna stay the bond on all the other counts. Counts 2 and 3 and 4 is 150, counts 5, 6, and 7 are 100. Sir, you are not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You are not to possess any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Trayvon Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, this is 19 CF 15072. You were arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms. You're not to have any contact with Zetravius Seawright. Your bond is $7,500, sir. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Nicole Nobles.
Ms. Nobles, this is 18 CF 6880. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant. The state has since filed an information only charging the grand theft third degree of another vehicle. Your bond, ma'am, is $3,500. Jenny, is it easiest to just ROR on those 2 counts? And then she'll be ROR'd on counts 2 and counts 3 since the state did file on those 2. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, this is recall 19 CF 15088 Schmar Henry. Private jail.
Your Honor, we're going to hold off making any argument at this point. We're going to go downtown and make the argument.
Okay, so at this time, I'll just stay the bonds as they are, and then you could get your hearing set in Division 22.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
That's all I have. Have a great day. Take care.
Good morning, your name?
Crystal Alexis Odom.
Ms. Odom, you're here in 19 CF 15061. You were arrested for possession of ecstasy and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Odom, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance.
Okay.
At this time, you understand you have to come back to court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you miss court, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and it will have no bond.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release to make sure they have your correct address so you get notice of your court date.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're also not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, your name?
Isaiah Perez.
Tell me again.
Isaiah Perez.
Mr. Perez, you were here in 19 CF 15062. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Mr. Perez, are you planning on staying here in Orlando?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just have a note that says you've been in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. I just moved back.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. At this time, sir, you have to come back to court.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release to let them know how they can get in touch with you. If you fail to appear for court, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest that will not have a bond. You can't go back to the Party City at 1444 North Alafaya Trail.
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Prasad, I'm gonna set to the side.
Your Honor, can we pass by Mr. Prasad?
Yes, I believe we're calling him second session as well. Mr.
Yes.
Prasad? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you.
He's the co-defendant of Cardenas. Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Barry Reed.
Mr. Reed, you failed to appear in 19 CF 6844 for arraignment on September 26th of this year. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you, sir. You'll have to have your lawyer file a bond motion in Division 15. Thank you. Dexter, what about Joshua Ovales?
He's Spanish interpreter, Your Honor. Mr. Matthew Reynolds is currently working offsite.
Recess for tomorrow? Good morning, your name?
Jonathan Rowe.
Mr. Roll, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant in 19 CF 15091 for delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a convenience store. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the 7-Eleven at Westmoreland and Colonial Drive, sir. I'm gonna set your bond at $2,500. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning, your name?
Shauna Smart.
What about Mr. Russ?
Mr. Russ is behavior, Your Honor.
Okay, let me just do this really quick. This is 19 CF 15083. I'm gonna waive Mr. Russ's appearance based upon his behavior and inability to come to court. I'll appoint the public defender. He was arrested for battery on a corrections officer. There is probable cause. His bond is $2,500. Ms. Smart? Ma'am, you're here in 19 CF 15052. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, fleeing and eluding, and possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You also have 19 CT 7942. You were arrested for driving a license suspended. There's probable cause for that offense as well. Your bond will be $100. Bond on count 1 in the felony matter is $150. Bond on count 2 is $2,500. Bond on count 3 is $150. I am going to revoke the bond in 19 CF 14740. That will be set at none.
We said what?
None.
And that's it.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name, please? Mr. Stewart? You're 19 CF 8857. Sir, you failed to appear for a status hearing. It appears you are on conditional release. The treatment says clerk to notify court within 24 hours of arrest. Division 15. Who's Division 15? Is that Treva? Mr. Stewart, you also failed to appear in 18 CF 17335 for a status hearing. And I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Mr. Stewart, I'm gonna contact, and so is the clerk, Judge Wilson, to let her know that you're here and get you set for a hearing in front of her regarding your conditional release.
All right.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Sheila Marie Summerlin.
Ms. Summerlin, you were here in 19 CF 15054. You were arrested for burglary of unoccupied conveyance and petty theft.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return to Crosby's Motor Inn. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Richard Warren.
Mr. Warren, this is 19 CF 15070. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and destruction of evidence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Your name?
Francis McHugh Carrico.
Sir, this is 19 CL 1098. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. There's probable cause. Was the state making an offer on this case?
Your Honor, may we have just a moment to?
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor, the state does have an offer for this case. The offer is an adjudication of guilt, 5 days with a credit time served of 2, no return to the scene, and court costs.
5 days? 5 days for soliciting?
If you'd like to plead in the court, you can always do that too, sir.
Okay. I'll plead to the court guilty.
I'll need you to sign the free form, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did
Thank
you
you.
appoint our office, Your Honor?
No, he didn't come up before.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
Negative, ma'am.
All right, sir. I will accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. So you've been trespassed, it looks like, from the Waterford Lake Shopping Center. So don't go back to that area. Every time you do, you will be rearrested. You have to pay court costs. Those are due by October 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Travis Messer.
Mr. Messer, this is 19 CL 1099. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Ms. Washington, did you have an offer on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The state does have an offer, the offer being an adjudication of guilt, 5 days with credit time served of 2, no return to the scene, and court costs.
Yes.
Plea to the court.
Okay, sign the plea form, please. Mr. Messer, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. I will accept your plea, adjudicate guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail, and give credit for 2 days' time served. You do have to pay court costs. Those are due by October 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Edward Bennett.
Oh, Mr. White.
Mr. White, on,
You Mr. Bennett?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're here at 19 MM 8793. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning.
Yes.
There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Washington, did you have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is offering an adjudication of guilt with 5 days credit time served, no return to the scene, and court costs. And properly abide by the authorized trespass one.
Okay.
Your Honor, is the court inclined to take, for my client to plead to the bench, Your Honor?
Yes.
I want to plead to the court, ma'am.
I understand, sir.
Okay.
Did you appoint our office, Your Honor?
Yes. sir, before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Bennett, you understand that you cannot go back to the Raceway Automotive Shop?
Yes.
Speedway Automotive Shop?
Yes.
All right, so they don't want you there. They've trespassed you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so when you do that, they're going to arrest you and you're gonna come back here.
I understand.
I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You do have to pay court costs, which are due by October 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, right, sir?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Dobon,
He's mental health, Your Honor.
we'll reset this case then. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Sir, you were here in 19 MM 701. You were arrested for trespass in a structure or a conveyance. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Was there an offer, Ms. Washington?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's offering an adjudication of guilt with 5 days, no return to the scene and court costs.
Your Honor, are you inclined to take for my client to plead to the bench, Your Honor?
Yes, Your Honor. I wasn't aware that I was trespassed from the church. It was the Boy Scout camp. So I was in a prayer garden praying for my fiance that was hit with an automobile in a wheelchair last month. And just got out of critical care.
I remember you, Mr. Elliott.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I need you to sign the plea form, please. Mr. Elliott, did you read the plea form, sir, before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No.
All right, sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. Sir, you can't go back to the 201 South Park Avenue. Are you now clear about where you're not allowed to be?
Yes.
Okay. You do have to pay court costs. Those are going to be due by October 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Right?
Okay, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Stephen Haddon is mental health, Your Honor.
You will be sentenced. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Aaron Howell.
Mr. Howell, this is 19 MM 8806. You were arrested for obtaining merchandise or money with a false receipt and petty theft. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is 500. Your bond on count 2 is 100. You are not to return to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. Was the, out on bond, was that a notice to appear or?
Yes.
It was?
Your Honor, my client's saying that he pled out to it. I was going to
I'm
check.
just gonna take a look at it
Okay,
really
thank you,
quickly.
Your Honor.
Sure. It's still open. All right. Yeah, he was ROR'd on a 33-day motion back in August. The state still hasn't filed an information in that matter. I'm not going to take any action in that case. Yeah, he was arrested in June on that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, your name?
Presley Hugo.
Ma'am, you're here in 19 MM 8805. You were arrested for petty theft. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to 2715 South Orange Avenue. Stay the bond at $250. I'm not going to revoke the bond in 19 CF 12182, but I am going to add the condition that you're going to have to submit to random error analysis testing through PTO.
Okay, thank you.
She has one. On the out on bond? I added the condition on her out on bond case, yeah. Good morning, your name?
Menard Jonathan.
Mr. Menard, you have two cases this morning. You have 19 MM 8807, you were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Your bond is $250. You're not to return to Target at 3770 North Goldenrod Road. You also have an out-of-county violation of probation based upon the facts of the new law case. There is probable cause for the violation of probation, and your bond on that matter will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Porter.
Mr. Porter. You were here in 19 MM 8804. You were arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. Sir, did you want the public defender to represent you?
I don't have any money. I'm out there trying to find a job.
I understand.
So I wasn't sure whether I should or shouldn't.
You probably should have a lawyer to represent you, because you're not going to be able to resolve your case today. So you're going to have to come back to court, and they'll be able to help talk to you about your case and tell you what your options are.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. You can't go back to Publix. You need to contact your lawyer within 24 hours of your release to give them an updated or correct address and how they can get a hold of you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, when you are released from the jail, they'll give you a court date. You need to make sure you show up at that court date.
Correct address up there?
I don't know, but you need to call them to verify your address.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Highlight it. That way I can see it better. I have to do that on the 24th. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your name?
Frank Smoger.
Mr. Smoger, you're here 19 MM 983. You were arrested for trespass after warning and conveyance. There's probable cause for trespass. I'll appoint the public defender. Ms. Washington, were you making an offer on Mr. Smoger's case?
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is an adjudication of guilt with 10 days credit time served for 2, no return to the scene and court costs.
Your Honor, would the court be inclined for my client to plead to the bench, Your Honor?
You can plead with her.
Your Honor, my client would like to plead to the court, Your Honor.
Okay. Sign the plea form, Mr. Smoggers. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Are you on probation?
No. No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if you are not a U.S. citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, sir. I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail. You've got credit for 2 days time served. You cannot go back to the Publix in Winter Garden. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Mr. Smogger, how long were you in the Matthews Hope program?
Couple years or something, on and off.
Is there any way you can get back in?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to do that?
Yes.
It's a good program. I used to volunteer there. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, it is a good program.
Is Pastor Scott still in charge of the program?
Is that the heavy set guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, good luck, sir.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Good luck, okay?
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Joseph Doyle.
Mr. Doyle, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County. You failed to appear on a driving while license suspended with 2 priors.
Yes, ma'am.
The bond is $5,000, sir. If you cannot pay the bond, Seminole County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you
Yes,
get there.
ma'am.
Thank you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Miss Latham?
Yes.
You are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County for possession of cocaine and possession of a controlled substance. You do not have a bond. Seminole County is going to come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lloyd, you're here for an out-of-county warrant for violation of probation related to possession of cannabis under 20 grams. Your bond is set at none. Seminole County is going to come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you Ms. Robles?
Yes, ma'am.
You are here for an out-of-county warrant from Alachua County for, looks like it's a violation of probation related to selling synthetic narcotics and smuggling contraband into a prison.
That's my original charge, and I've asked 4 different people what my violation of probation is, and nobody knows.
So so this is what I'm gonna tell you. So I don't have a copy of the affidavit for violation of probation. I just have the warrant. So I understand that those are your original charges. Your bond for the warrant is set at none. Alachua County is going to come pick you up. You will go to first appearance when you get there, and that judge will have the actual violation of probation affidavit, and they will inform you of what the actual violations are. Okay? Thank you, ma'am. How about Stewart? Tremont? Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, are you Mr. Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
You are here for an out-of-county warrant related to a violation of probation for burglary of an occupied structure. Your bond is set at none. Sarasota County is going to come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good morning.
Morning.
Your name?
Who?
Your name.
Oh, Trammell. Douglas.
Mr. Trammell, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Hernando County related to a violation of probation for the offense of battery on a person 65 years of age or older. Your bond is set at none. Hernando County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Great, okay,
All right,
thank you. Have a
sir.
great day.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Elizabeth Vega.
Ms. Vega, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County related to false imprisonment on a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none. Osceola County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Washington, did you need a minute before we start the 33D motion?
Yes, Your Honor. Sure. Thank you.
Is there a way to do, like, related cases? Like, if I have this one case number, but I know we had two, so I was wondering how I would find this case cross-reference or related cases. Right there. Yep, that's it, I got it, yep, thank you.
And, Your Honor, the state is ready.
Sure. I'm gonna start with the add-on case.
Yes, Your Honor.
19 CF 13568, Brian Perez Ponton.
And a notice of non-filing was filed on 10/29, Your Honor.
That will be granted.
And Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Thank you. MM 7961, Stephen Young.
A notice of non-filing was filed on October 28th.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 13695, Larry Smith.
A notice of non-filing on October 28th.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 13697, Roxana Castro.
And information was filed on October 29th. Filing ID is 98050947.
That will be denied.
This was an information. Yes.
19 CF 13315, Lucky Buress.
And information was filed on October 30th. Filing ID is 980799181.
That will be denied. 19 CF 13251, William Funai.
And information was filed October 29th. Filing ID is 98061365.
That will be denied. 19 CF 10129, Michael Compton.
A notice of non-filing was filed on October 29th.
That motion is going to be denied. His bond was revoked on 9/22. CF 13578, Anthony Jerry.
And information was filed on October 29th. Filing ID is 98064986.
That will be denied. CF 7019, Lisa Merriman.
A notice of non-filing was filed October 29th.
That will be granted. 19 CF 7020, Lisa Merriman.
A notice of non-filing October 29th.
That will be granted. 19 CF 11185, Kia Gibson.
A request for administrative transfer and information. Clocked-in copies have been provided to Defense Counsel.
The information was filed when, Ms. Bush?
October 29th.
Thank you. That will be denied. 19 CF 13463, Anthony YouTube.
and information was filed October 29th. Filing ID is 98065250.
That'll be time. 19 CF 13806, Daryl Banner.
This was consolidated on October 29th with 2019 CF 013611AO. I have provided defense counsel copies of the information.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 13563, Samuel Smith.
A notice of non-filing was filed on October 29th.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 13546, Michael Florent.
This was consolidated with 2019 CF 135450. Filing ID is 98065027.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 7935, Dennis Hoover.
Notice of non-filing October 29th.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 13726, Latoya Key.
Notice of non-filing October 29th.
That'll be granted. 19 MN 885, Stanley Davis Jr.
A notice of non-filing October 29th.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 13650, Elaine Romero.
Your Honor, may we hear this at the end of session 2 this morning?
19 MN 7913, Calvin Reese.
Request for administrative transfer from county court to circuit court, and information has been filed. Clocked-in copies have been provided to defense counsel.
That will be denied. And 19 CF 11073, Alice Morales.
Notice of non-filing October 29th.
That will be approved. Okay. So then we just have the two from this morning. Is that why you're here?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought so. Okay. Do we have the paperwork or?
William J. for the state. I do, if it's needed. We are trying to keep this information sealed until all suspects are in custody, and we can address that on the record when the defendants are here.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you. Then we'll be in recess.